Are the tourists really flooding back to Thailand? We've got dirty, dirty canals, and you can now rent a cinema to have a gaming party with your friends. That's all coming up on today's Good Morning Thailand. Hello and welcome to Good Morning Thailand, brought to you by Coffee Culture and My Beach Resort, presented by Tim Newton and Jay.
Hello, good morning. Good to be back. Thank you very much to Natty for keeping the chair warm yesterday.
All right, ladies and...
Before we go,
yes,
before we start,
yep.
Somebody suggested an idea for a show was to do a drag race.
Yes.
No, compare different types of transport from Bangkok to Pattaya.
Yes.
But the problem we thought was that it's a 7-lane freeway all the way down there.
Yes.
So it would just be a sort of a drag race of which vehicle was the fastest.
I think the bike would win.
The bike, yeah. Well, it depends if it was a
if
it was a Zoomer with you on the back.
Yeah, it was between Jay riding a tuk-tuk, Natty riding a motorbike, and Carmel riding a train.
The train?
Yeah. Just, I mean, if there was a train.
Right, okay. I don't think there is a train. Yeah. But I think you want a passenger van with 7 Chinese tourists. Yeah. That needs to be one of the options.
Because?
Because those things are turbocharged and they go at about 300 kilometres an hour. I might be exaggerating. But even better, I think, would be like from our office to the airport, because there's 3 or 4 different types of transport you could use. That might be more interesting. But it was a good idea. Thank you. Right,
ladies and gentlemen, we do have timestamps on the video, so you can skip to the part where we talk about news. All right, let's get on with the show with our first topic, which is regarding tourists flooding into Thailand as pre-travel tests have been cancelled. Now, this was basically the headline yesterday on Thailand News Today, as Jet was reporting that the amount of tourists coming into Thailand has basically doubled because of the cancellation of the pre-travel PCR test, to which I thought, what?
Really? Yeah, I'm a little bit sceptical, and I know that we led with this on the news last night, but I think the word flooding back to Thailand is a little bit enthusiastic, or a slight exaggeration. So here are the actual numbers.
And an insult to floods.
Definitely an insult to floods.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we are speaking about canals later. So in December was the best month we had previously, with some 230,000 people arriving during the month. That was before they scrapped. What did they do? They something happened in December before January which lowered the numbers. They added the tests, or oh my God, I can't even remember what it was now. But something happened in January. Omicron happened.
Okay.
That's what it Omicron.
You had a memory erased, did you?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so, and then they added the 5th day of testing.
It was all that. And so in January it was 134,000, I'm sort of rounding this off. In February it was 152,000 arrivals, which is 5,400 a day. And then in March, they're saying that it was 11 or 12,000 a day. So even if you're optimistic and say, okay, it's 12,000 a day coming in April now, that would be 372,000 for the month. So if they're saying, okay, we're getting 11 or 12,000 people a day, that's 372,000 for the month of April. But even if that was the case, it would still be only 11% of the people who are coming pre-COVID. So to say they're flooding back, even if it's 12,000 a day, which we were, when they did this report, it was only 3 days into April.
Well, if the numbers doubled suddenly overnight or in a couple of days, isn't that considered a significant improvement?
Well, I don't believe they did improve overnight.
Ooh, conspiracy.
For example, the Thai PBS report on this said since the cancellation of the pre-arrival PCR test, the number of arrivals has nearly doubled to 11 or 12,000 passengers a day. Now, I don't believe that because they scrapped the pre-arrival test, that's suddenly going to make people go, oh, now I'm going back to Thailand. I mean, I think it's still the SHA Plus hotel on the first night, the fifth day
ATK test.
ATK test. It's the masks. It's the 11 p.m. curfews. It's all those things that I think are still the big stumbling block. Given that you have to have a test when you arrive in Thailand, which was probably a bit arse about. I'm not sure. And then somebody said the PCR test, this is somebody quoting an airport staff, the PCR test results are now available in 3 to 4 hours. This means many arrivals may not have to stay overnight at a hotel to wait for results, which may encourage more people to travel to Thailand.
You still have to book the hotel.
Exactly. You've still got to book the hotel and pay for it and upload that to get your Thailand pass. So it's no use saying you may not have to stay in the hotel.
This might only benefit expats who are coming back to the country, because you book the hotel, you get your results in 3 to 4 hours, and you just go back home. But if you're a tourist coming in, you might as well stay at the hotel, even if you've got your results, because you've paid for it.
Yeah, and you still have to stay at that hotel until those results arrive.
Yeah.
The reports were a little bit enthusiastic. Maybe the information came from those ever optimistic people at the TAT.
Well, talking about being optimistic and the TAT is teaming up with AirAsia.
Oh, great.
Now, they plan to attract about 1.75 million tourists, very specific number, from short-haul markets. As more countries are reopening, the restrictions are going down, so people from these countries will be able to travel. Therefore, they want to come up with a partnership with AirAsia to come up with 2 tour packages to attract these tourists to Thailand, which makes a lot of sense. These tour packages will be coming out in the next 4 months, as AirAsia plans to have about 18,000 packaged tours. Say packages 3 times.
Packages.
Well done.
Next.
Now, the TAT Deputy Governor has come out and said that we need to actively promote tourism. We need to, as the months come in and hopefully the restrictions in Thailand also decrease, we need to come up with these packages, attract the people. Other countries are opening up. People should come to Thailand. Let's target 200,000 tourists from Australia, because Australia to Thailand is a short-haul flight. I'm not too sure about that.
From Melbourne to Phuket's 9 hours.
All right. And 450,000 tourists from India. So they are trying to get people from Southeast Asia in particular. About 1.1 million from the overall 1.75 million are going to be targeted in Southeast Asia.
Right, well, totally, and it's pretty much across the board for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Australians used to come to Thailand up to around about 500,000 every year. So it went up a bit and down a bit, but it was, before COVID, it was every single year. So
wouldn't they be going to Bali now?
Yeah, sure. Well, the available tourists, and we've got to assume that around the world, tourism is down a lot.
Yep.
So it's not just Thailand suffering this problem, although many people would argue that the Thailand pass has made it particularly difficult to get back to Thailand, and that's a decision to be made by the people who are coming here, and we probably agree with you. But I think Australians, they would choose, if they wanted to go to a tropical island, it was usually Bali or Phuket that was the choices. But Bali's always been very popular with Australians, and why not? Because it's only 3-4 hour flight compared to 9 hours, depending on where you're flying from. I mean, to fly from Melbourne to Phuket, about 4 of those hours are actually flying over Australia. It's a pretty big continent.
Yes. Well, anyways, whether you're an expat or a person living in Thailand and wants to travel out, or a person who wants to come to Thailand, I think it's a great thing that these tour packages are coming, because AirAsia does give some crazy cheap flights and packages. So check them out whenever they do come out.
Last time I flew to Australia, I flew on AirAsia through KL because it was the cheapest flight at the time. And I'm a price-sensitive flyer.
Normally you just have to book like 6 months in advance to get those real crazy cheap deals.
Cheap ones. Yeah. And look, that's fine. And then if you want to get on the plane and argue that there's no food and this and that and the seats are small, well, you get what you pay for. But if you want to travel cheaply, these budget airlines, they do it pretty well. Yeah. And we've got plenty of them coming to
fly
Thailand.
in Nettie's jet. That is also possible if you ask very politely.
Have you been allowed to?
No, I've just seen pictures.
You know,
I've
even
just seen
you haven't been
pictures.
asked.
Oh well. Karma's
Says a
got a
lot.
question.
Saprapapon said that most tourists are coming not for the traditions or the culture, but let's keep it real. Tourists are coming for sunny beaches, bars, and Thailand's unique nightlife. And then the Snives added that people want to come before the rainy season. That's why. That
People
could
want to come for the rainy season.
before the rainy season.
Oh, before the rainy season.
Well, look, I think there's a lot of reasons people come to Thailand. The nightlife is just part of it. It's not a big part of it, but it's a part of it. A lot of families that come to Thailand, a lot of business people that come to Thailand, a lot of people come to Thailand to retire or to work. But of course, those things he mentioned are reasons that people come here. And I'm not sure where I'm going with the answer, but thank you.
Some people like the rain.
Yes.
I love the rain.
This 11 or 12,000 was on the Sunday, which was the 4th of April, the 3rd of April, the third day into April. I don't believe that the slight shuffling of the change has just suddenly doubled the numbers.
Yeah.
That may happen when we get to May, even though we're sort of moving into the wet season at that stage, because at the start of May, they're meant to, all things going equal, touch wood, so they're going to be getting rid of the PCR test on arrival and replacing
endemic.
it. No, that's July the 1st.
July the 1st, but we'll see.
We're heading in that direction though, but they're going to replace the PCR test on arrival and the SHA hotel that you have to pre-book with an ATK test at the airport. That is probably a bit of a game changer. But you've still got to upload the stuff onto the Thailand Pass. That's going to continue until at least July the 1st. So the impediment of the Thailand Pass, even if it's easier, is still there.
All right. But yes, good point by Saprapapon. I think people do come mainly for those reasons. And yeah.
What were they? Nightlife? Beaches and...
Bars. I mean, nightlife bars, same thing. But then,
Nightlife,
yeah, the
bars,
sunny beaches, the
beaches.
bars, and the unique nightlife. That's the reason why a
The
lot of
bars,
people come.
the unique nightlife,
So basically,
and the beaches.
nightlife and the beaches,
Yeah.
Okay.
not together.
Well, no.
No. All right.
What about Chiang Mai and the elephants and the trekking and the beautiful greenery and hill tribes and...
and everything else.
Okay.
All right. Last topic before the break is regarding canals, because that's another thing people love. They come to Thailand for the canals.
Is that to do with our survey? Oh, no. I've got the two mixed up.
No, the survey.
Oh, it's a different type of canal.
Yeah, it's a different. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't visited is it the community side of the YouTube page?
Yeah, you go to community, and that's where we have the survey.
Yeah, we've got a survey going on right now. Results will be shown after the break, so you can have a quick look and answer and take part in the survey. But before that, let's talk about the Prime Minister wanting to clean up the Bangkok canals. Now, this article was on the Thaiger.com, and as I opened it, did you write this article?
No.
Okay, well, whoever wrote it, from the Thaiger, I will hunt them down. No, but I read the article, and it started with Bangkok is smelly, basically. How if you wake up in the morning, you go out on the streets, and it smells like. It smells bad.
There are a few funky smells from time to time.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that Bangkok
I thought that was
smells.
slightly unfair,
Yeah.
Mr. Writer.
There are a few funky smells in particular locations,
Well,
but
compared to Phuket, yes, Bangkok is definitely a lot more smelly than a place like Phuket or, Hua Hin, or other beautiful places in Isan. For all our Isan viewers who'll make sure to let me know. But I felt like it's nothing compared to India. I've experienced it. You're in India as soon as you step off the plane. You just open, the floodgates of the airplane opens, you come out in the middle of Bombay and you get a nice gasp of just the smell of shit. And
Basically.
that's okay, and I embrace it as a fellow Indian. It's like my country, it's all right. It is what it is.
depending on the time of the year, one thing I've noticed when the aircraft doors open is that smell of rotting durian.
Yeah.
That's a smell I've sometimes gone, I'm back in Thailand. But that's only during durian season.
Yeah, I hope I haven't offended anyone. That was a joke, by the way. Anyways, let's talk about the smelly canals, because that's one thing we can agree upon. Bangkok has some very smelly canals. It does look like radioactive wastewater, and if you fall in it, you will grow wings, but not the wings that you want.
Well, yes, we've actually got a bit of video.
Yes.
Because the Prime Minister's saying, I want to clean up the canals.
Yes.
But this is something he's mentioned before. Would you like to roll the tape, Norm?
I believe it was in 2015.
Now, the government has spent quite a lot of money and effort in trying to clean up the water in the klongs of Bangkok, but just casually looking here at the water, you probably wouldn't want to swim in it. In 2015, Prime Minister Prayut initiated a 2-year effort to clean up the canal, inspecting some 210 potential polluters along the canal route, and found that nearly 40% of the hotels and condos, along with around 20% of the commercial premises lining the route, were discharging wastewater into the canal. Many faced large fines, and now the quality of the water has definitely improved through the efforts of the BMA.
And welcome back. Tim.
I'm trying to download the survey for Norm, but I can't talk and download and...
The survey? Which survey?
The survey that we're going to address soon.
Oh.
So I was sending him a screenshot so we could show the viewer.
Well, we can just go on to Thaiger YouTube and get the live results.
Yeah, they can do it, but I was trying to help them.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyways, moving on. So
about those canals.
Yes.
So that particular story I did back in about 18 months ago.
Yes.
I used to stay at a hotel at Tong Lo, and I came by the canal every morning to work.
Yes.
And there are some great big pipes. I mean, these are like metre diameter pipes that twice a day at Tong Lo, if you're there at the wrong time, I open up and pump out something. I don't know what it is or where it's from, but they pump a lot of it into the Song Sap. Is it the Song Sap Canal?
I have no
Help
idea.
me out, guys. San Sap.
Sang Sap.
Sang Sap.
Sang Sap.
That canal that runs sort of parallel with Petchbury Road. So I used to come and I used to look at the water and think, I don't want to fall in that. But yeah, if you were at Tongla when those pipes opened, it was like, oh, I don't know what it was, but it didn't come from anything that was living.
Well, the Ong Ang Canal, which is Bangkok's stinkiest canal, it was improved. It took about 5 years. I believe the PM in 2015 made a point to clean it up. It took about 5 years, and it did improve. However, the problems are returning, ladies and gentlemen. And the main problem the Prime Minister wants to fix is regarding the sewage and the flooding issue. Now, they want to open...
Particularly if they happen at the same time.
Yeah. And they've spoken about how they want to open the Ong Ang Canal's drainage system to increase the water circulation in Bang Lampu Canal, which is, I'm guessing they're all connected. And
Bang Lam what?
Bang Lampu Canal.
Poo.
Yes.
Okay.
Bang Lampu. The increased circulation will improve the smell and reduce the mosquitoes breeding and spreading dengue as well, to which I thought, why haven't they done that already?
Yeah.
Why would someone need to be told to do that so that the water can be circulated and be less stinky?
They've been doing some really nice makeovers along the sides of the canals in many parts of Thailand. Down near Chinatown, there's a few other places they've sort of done some really nice reconditioning and landscaping. The problem remains, though, on what is still being pumped into these canals, and that's the core question. I mean, you can sort of dress it up and make it look really nice, but the water quality is the thing they really need to fix up, because that water quality ends up flowing into the Chao Phraya, into the Gulf of Thailand, into the fisheries, et cetera, et cetera. So they've really got to fix up what is being pumped in the canals.
Nobody wants to go swimming in the canal, but it would be nice when you're traveling in the canal to not feel like you're going through radioactive water. This is not, Mad Max.
The definition of optimism for me
Yeah.
is when I see a fisherman with a line hanging in the canal. I think, I wouldn't want to be
It's
eating
like an
anything.
episode out of Fallout.
Yeah.
The game. Yes.
Speaking about swimming in the canals, PG Santa said that he will never forget retired working for you's video where he came across people swimming and fishing in some of the canals, and it was too sad to watch that. But yeah.
You've got to be pretty optimistic, I would say. If you fall on the canal, no, don't even think about it. Keep your mouth closed and hold your nose.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, and once we come back from the break, we're going to be addressing our important survey, bumgun or toilet paper, as well as topics that involve gamers renting out SF cinema halls and the merger between DTAC and True. Stay tuned, we'll be back right after this. Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Thailand, sponsored by Coffee Culture. Coffee Culture, the best place in Thailand to buy Thai roast coffee and coffee capsules, as well as My Beach Resort. Now, you can get a 10% discount at checkout when you're booking a hotel room with My Beach Resort, which is in Panwa, in the fancy part of Phuket. Quiet, peaceful, and if you like good things in life, then look no further than My Beach Resort. As well as...
Oh, speaking of My Beach Resort.
Yes.
We're going to be there on Monday and Tuesday next week.
That's right. So if
Did you remember that?
Yes.
So you'll have to drive all the way from what you live in a palace down in Chalong somewhere.
Chalong has no palaces.
So
but sure.
you have to drive all the way to Panwa. Think you can find it?
Jason,
or your driver will be able to
You've
find
confused me with Jason. Jason lives in Chalong.
Oh, okay.
I live in Kathu.
Ugh.
Ugh.
How common.
Yeah. It is a very common area, actually. Oh, well. We can't
Apologies to the people that live in Kathu. I lived in Kathu for...
It's okay. I'm a representative here for the common man. I'm an extreme example of what a working man can achieve in my dreams.
In your lumberjack shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for 2 Minutes Thailand, where you get to learn about different aspects of Thailand and a little bit of Thai history as well. Now, today is the last part of a 3-part series involving marriage. Today, Nan will be talking about wedding dresses. So, whether you have a wife, a daughter, a mum, or a woman you know in your life who wants to get married in Thai weddings, you can learn a little bit more about their dresses.
Or a man that wants to wear a dress.
Yeah, we don't judge.
That's okay.
It's all cool here in Thailand.
Yes.
สวัสดีค่ะ This is the last episode about weddings. And today I will tell you about Thai traditional wedding dress. Thai traditional wedding dress is different from region to region, but I will show you the 4 most popular dresses by region. The Northern Thai wedding dress or Lana wedding dress has gained the culture from China and Myanmar. The bride will wear attractive and colorful pattern sabai dresses such as red, purple, pink, etc. with traditional sarongs. There is an ornament worn over the shoulder. The groom will wear a dark-colored loincloth with a traditional shirt. The bride usually wears white and red with gold sequins and floral patterns embroidered into the fabric with a long sabai cloth covering the floor and a sarong. The groom will wear a white Rajapatan shirt and jongkaben pants. Another style is that the bride will wear a shirt with puffy door sleeves. This trend started from the reign of King Rama VI to Rama VII, which is influenced by the Westerners. The wedding couple will wear white long-sleeve shirts. The bride will wear a sabai across the shoulder and sarong. The men will wear sarong or jongkaben pants. This region has been culturally derived from Laos. Because there are a lot of Muslims here, so many beautiful Muslim wedding dresses can be seen in the south. There is also the dress called baba, cultured from Malaysia and China. The bride will wear a light-colored long-sleeve shirt topped with a coat and wear gold accessories and put a gold crown over her hairband. The groom will wear a suit with tassel or brooch on the chest. There are our traditional wedding dresses. Which one do you like the most?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The show continues.
There's a question about weddings.
Yes.
If you go to a Thai wedding, what are you meant to take?
Nothing. Just money.
Just money? Because in Australia,
Yeah.
we would take a gift and we would sort of leave it on a table that would be made available for wedding gifts. You know, a toaster or cutlery or a crockery set or
I learned
something.
I learned this lesson the very hard way. It was my best friend's wedding. I was one of the groomsmen. I showed up to the reception at the end. You know, I bought him and his partner some Versace perfume.
Whoa.
Yeah, look, I mean, you know, is best mate.
Because
What are
she
you gonna
smells.
do? No, because I wanted them to smell even better.
Oh, okay.
So I bought them expensive, nice perfume, you know, his and hers.
Ooh.
And I was the only one with a gift set. And I was like, what's going on here? And then I came to the entrance. You know, normally in Thai weddings, at the reception anyways, the bride and groom stand in the front. You come, you take your photo, you go into the hall and be seated where you know, enjoy watching the shows or eat the food.
Watching the shows?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I wanted to give him the gift, but, you know, he's taking pictures with everyone. And after us, there are other people there. So you can't even accept the gift there.
Right.
And then after I finished that, there's a reception hall where you have to go and say, oh, hi, I'm Jay. You find out where you're seating, and then they give you an envelope. And I was like, what's this envelope for? And like, oh, that's where you put the money. I was like, what money? He's like, the amount of money you want the bride and groom to have. And I was like, I just spent a ridiculous amount of money buying this perfume, and then you expect me to put money in there? You must be out of your mind.
Or cultural faux pas much.
Long story short, I had to put extra money in the envelope because then I don't
dear.
want to look cheap as well.
Did you get the perfume for somebody else?
No, I gave him the perfume as well. So 2 for 1, lucky. He didn't tell me as well. Scam. He probably wanted both of them.
In Greek weddings I've attended, because a huge Greek community in Melbourne, Australia,
Yeah.
You go and pin money onto the bride's dress.
Oh,
Like
okay.
pin $100 notes. So the bride's swishing around the
Yeah.
dance floor with all this money hanging off her.
So is it insulting if you just put like a $20? Like, so
Oh.
you think my dress isn't good enough?
Something like that.
Anyway, shout out to Peter if he's watching the show.
Not anymore. He's still insulted. He's never forgiven you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a quick shout out to our Thaiger members as well. Thank you for supporting the channel.
Thank
and
you.
It's because of you we get to do some of the videos that we do.
Can I give you, speaking of members
Yeah.
and the people commenting generally, I've got a crazy idea.
Okay.
Over the past 2 years,
Yes.
we've had to block about 350 people
Yes.
for comments that are either just completely factually fallacious or making derogatory comments, like really nasty comments about Thaiger staff, or making libelous comments about people in the news. I mean, these are reasons we have to actually moderate the comments from time to time. It's our channel, it's our responsibility.
Yeah.
But I thought we might have a time where we'll just let everybody comment again.
A clean slate.
What do you call it? It starts with an A.
A clean slate.
A clean slate definitely starts with A. It's somebody's going to tell us in the comment section. Starts with A. We're gonna
Affogato coffee.
No.
America.
It's closer than what I came up with.
American
Anyway,
freedom.
an amnesty. We're going to have an amnesty for the comment section going amnesty. So we are going to have an amnesty. I'm going to release the wolves.
Okay.
We're going to unleash all those nasty people and they can comment again. Give you a second chance. We have
Well,
to
they
moderate.
can't obviously hear us, but I guess they'll figure it out.
No, I think they can still see us, but they can't comment.
Oh.
Yeah, but they
Right.
probably get pissed off and thinking, I'm not watching them anymore because they
Ryan
blocked me.
Bishop thought that your word was absolution. But everyone got it. Everyone was saying that it's amnesty.
Yeah, thank you very much, because when my brain's not working, at least I can count on your brain working. But we have to moderate the comments, because I have to protect the staff here, sometimes myself, and we have to make sure that when people just make completely wrong comments, that we don't let those sit there as potential facts.
But Tim, what happened to freedom of speech?
Yeah. Freedom of speech.
It's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it.
It carries a responsibility.
You must hear me out, no matter what it is I have to say.
You're entitled to say what you like, as long as it's not libelous, factually wrong. And when it comes to what's factually right, somebody's got to be the arbiter. And on our channel, we have to be the arbiter. We encourage freedom of speech. We love the idea. But this whole idea of just saying whatever you like, whenever you like, to our audience is just not going to sit very well.
But if my friend jumps off a cliff and I want to jump off a cliff as well, what's wrong with that?
Well, you will find out that the jump off the cliff is not going to hurt you. It's the bit at the bottom that does all the harm. And we should also mention that, of course, Thaiger has the Thaiger forum called Thaiger Talk, and that's part of the Thaiger.com website. It's got 7 moderators that also do the same job of trying to make sure it's a safe place for people to make comments that are useful, that add to the conversation. So thank you to all their work. It's not easy moderating a comment section, let me tell you.
I thought you handled that very well.
Thank you.
Very well spoken.
Thanks.
Amnesty for all celebrations.
So you could give me a brand new 20 baht note. What have I got here? Do I have a 20 baht note?
No,
Because
you definitely don't. It's not out in circulation yet.
it is. They're
Is
out
it?
They've been out for 10 days. This is
I
not
haven't
one
got
of them.
one yet.
These are the old ones.
So what do they do once you can give back your? So the story that Tim's talking
Never
about.
get that back again.
Tim's talking about how the 20 baht note in Thailand has now. It's the plastic note. It's not actually plastic. It's made of.
Is that a plastic one? I'll bring it over.
Is it made of plastic? I don't think it's 100% plastic. It's made of
Polymer.
polymer. There we go.
Polymer.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep off camera.
Thank you. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the new 20 baht note, and it is untearable, unless you tear it with a scissor.
Yeah, there it's.
And it's got the clear plastic bit.
Yes, and note to self: please do not try to tear a currency in Thailand.
This doesn't tear, I'll show you.
No, yeah, don't even try, or stamp on it. It's considered extremely rude, and you can also go in jail because it has the picture of the king. So do not do that.
Absolutely not. So yeah, they're plastic. Are they the same size? They are identical in size to the old 20s. I'll look after that for safekeeping, Carmel. So these were now don't laugh. The polymer plastic notes were invented in Australia.
In Australia, I know that one. That one I know.
Did.
Yes.
By the CSIRO, the
Because
Reserve Bank, and the University of Melbourne.
The 50 baht one used to be also.
So they're very becoming popular around the world now, because you'll know what happens to these if you put them in the washing machine.
Yes.
Which I do from time to time. So these are a much more durable, I suppose.
So you can now wash your clothes without worrying
Yes.
your currency gets wet. Your
Yes.
money, I mean. All right, let's now address our important survey, which is we asked you a question, and it was a simple one: bum gun or toilet paper? To which people responded heavily in favor of, drumroll please, bum guns, if they are called bum guns. 75%.
Well, you can also call
Almost.
them arse blasters.
No.
There's other names, but
Yeah. A water gun? Why
What?
must it be called a bum gun?
they're a water, because it sort of sounds cool.
Doesn't sound cool.
They're a water sprayer.
Okay.
The thing is that people say, "Oh, but I use a bidet." You know, I'm from France.
A bidet.
A bidet.
Okay.
And but I mean, it's a different conversation. That's a polite trickle. We're talking about mains pressure water sprayer here, which will clean a dirty bottom
Clean the poop out of you.
from 10 metres away.
Okay. So I'm guessing
We're talking full force mains pressure here.
I'm guessing the 73% of the people who voted in favor of the bum gun either have traveled to Asia, lived in Asia, and feel more comfortable using that or cleaner. The 27% of the people who said toilet paper. I am intrigued to know why you picked toilet paper. Is it just a preference? Is it because you've never experienced the water gun? Let us know in the comment section below. Or not. Actually, I prefer not. We can just move on.
A lot of people have, some people saying, why would you use a bum gun?
I liked the first comment. May I? Can we? I think it was from Martin P. There we go.
Martin P.
The last sentence.
And I can't believe 30% of the people responding to the survey still chose tissue. Bum guns, a mark of civilization.
There we go. Martin P. summing up what a lot of people.
Somebody said, why would you want to be blasting Thai water up your lower canal?
Well, he's got a golden
but you're not meant to be,
does he?
You're not meant to be blasting water in there. It's meant to be removing stuff from outside.
From this, let's just move on from this.
The show is Good Morning Thailand.
Sick.
If you are having breakfast, we apologise.
I'm feeling sick. Jason's parents are having breakfast. They always watch the show during breakfast. So, Josie, Phil, if you're watching, I apologise. And swiftly moving on to our next topic.
Thank you to all the people that responded.
Yes. Let's now talk about True and DTAC merging together. Now, if you've lived in Thailand or travelled here, there are three major providers for telecommunications: True, DTAC, and AIS.
These are the decisions you have to make.
Yeah.
DTAC, AIS, True Move,
yes.
Bum gun, or toilet paper.
No. So everyone has to choose between DTAC, True, or AIS. Those are the three big dogs.
What's
AIS,
your choice? What do you
AIS
use?
being the biggest. I use AIS.
True Move.
True.
Because they have the best promotions.
Camel's on True.
I've used AIS for the last 15 years.
All I can say after 11 years
Yes.
is that I'm trying to get something out here. Is it doesn't really make any difference. They're all very good.
Yeah.
They're all very reasonably priced, and I think they all do a great job. I mean, there isn't a standout amongst them. They're all very good. They've all got good coverage.
Yes. However, AIS is the biggest. Now, True and DTAC, I've spoken about this, I think, 3 or 4 months ago. They were talking about a merger, and it has become... It's going to happen later this year.
It has been approved by the...
Shareholders, that's right. Shareholders of the companies have approved the planned amalgamation
That's
later
the word.
this year.
Amalgamation is okay. That's the word.
Amalgamation. It's a bit pretentious, isn't it?
Well, what word would you prefer?
They're merging together. That's good enough.
Merger, that's the same. Amalgamation, same word. It's just got...
But would you use that word? What do you think about people who use big words for absolutely no gain, as in it's
like
completely unnecessary? Yes.
Well,
And we'd be talking and you'd be like, oh yes, True and DTAC's amalgamation's going to go through because of the shareholders. And
Well,
I'd be like, do you mean that they're now going to merge into one company? It's
I'd
the same
use the
thing.
word amalgamation in polite conversation because that's the correct word. A merger is also okay. Don't knock at the people who have taken the trouble to increase their vocabulary
Yeah.
for your benefit.
No, it's not. I'm not talking about my benefit. I'm just saying it's unnecessary.
I don't believe so.
Okay. That's okay. There's some classy people out there with a much better vocabulary than me.
I think you're being vexatious, Jay.
I think you're being pretentious, Tim. All right, let's move on. True and DTAC are going to merge, and they've come out and said, look, this is great for the long-term investment funding.
Of course they'll say that.
It's going to strengthen their position in the fight against AIS because, yes, in this world where AIS is the big dog, True and DTAC are going to be together to take on the big man.
Okay, so at the moment you've got the three and you've got good competition.
Yep.
Now, DTAC and True are still going to remain as separate brands. It's just they're going to be under the big umbrella, one umbrella company. Now, so will it end up as a duopoly? No, I actually think the three brands will still compete heavily and the pricing is very competitive. So although technically, company-wise, it'll be a duopoly, I still think the three brands will compete against each other. And even within the same company...
Wait, what three brands?
True, DTAC and
But they're going to
AIS.
become one.
I believe the brands are going to remain. DTAC and True will remain. I don't think they're going to call it DTAC True or anything like that.
Okay.
So the brands will remain, but it'll have a parent company. A bit like here, where we've got a parent company. You've got MyMedi Travel, and you've got Thaiger, and Boat Crowd, and who else have we got these days?
Why don't they just become DTAC True and take on the big giant?
Well, I think that's what's going to happen as far as
eventually
the ledger is concerned.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they're going to keep the brands of True and DTAC separate,
I believe,
even though they'll be under one parent.
Is DTAC Scandinavian? If I'm not wrong.
DTAC, Wikipedia.
But let's just talk about how the vote went. 99.37% of True shareholders were in favor, and 89% of DTAC shareholders were in favor of the merger.
It's the third largest phone company in Thailand after AIS and True. DTAC is owned by a Norwegian company, Telenor,
Thought so.
both directly and indirectly. And both companies share the same logo. So Telenor and DTAC share the same logo. So there you go. Now you know.
Well,
DTAC is Norwegian. And
there we go. Thank you, Carmel.
Thank you very much to our commenters who are as fast on the Wikipedia as I am.
Yes, for anyone interested in stocks and shares, the companies merged together will have a paid-up capital of 138.2 billion baht and 34.5 billion ordinary shares with par value of 4 baht each. So are you going to be buying DTAC True shares?
No.
Yes, you will.
Well,
you're not going to support your
What do you
True?
mean my?
You've been using True for, I don't know, God knows how many years, 9 years. There's no loyalty, there's no belief in that.
I make an
True
investment
will-
of 800 baht a month. That's all the investment they're going to get from me.
Okay.
But that gives me limitless 5G
Yeah.
Wi-Fi. I get superb service everywhere around Thailand. And I also use it to so I can watch the TV.
I think this is great.
Because
I think this is great because this is going to make AIS step up their game.
that's all good.
Yeah.
So
The other dogs in the race are, up in their game. They're merging together. They want to take on the giant. Now the giant's going to come out and try to make a point. And I hope they come up with a better plan and better service and better everything because
Jay just wants a cheaper plan.
they've been lagging behind.
Carmel.
Sick Puppy said that consumers will always lose when there is a merger, though.
Why?
Sick Puppy and PG Sanda pointed out that this merger might actually not benefit the consumers.
Well,
It
of
would
course,
affect the
there's
consumers.
always another competitor can always come in. I mean, if you are sitting out there with a telecommunications company, Vodafone, or there's thousands of companies around the world, you can come into Thailand and you can build the infrastructure and have a company. I think there's also going to be some lower level sort of third party companies that will start up, which will on-sell unused bandwidth on the towers. So, Thaiger could perhaps have a brand. We could use unused bandwidth for True and sell it at a lower rate.
Maybe Cat, which doesn't usually internet. Maybe they could get into telecommunication. Who knows? But I hope that this AIS sees this as a challenge and makes their service better, and True and DTAC together can provide better service.
Yeah.
And if they can maybe get people who like me who've been using AIS for 15 years to go to True, if they provide a better service and a better promotion, I would go there.
I have
think
to
maybe
say,
a lot of people would think the same.
Sure. Compared to a lot of the world, telecommunications in Thailand is pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
It's poor as well. It's not great.
I think the speed is good and it's reliable. I've never had an outage or anything with my Wi-Fi. I've been very happy with the service.
All right.
And I don't have, like a plug-in landline Wi-Fi.
Well, it's
I
just we're
use
so
my phone.
In Thailand, we're so slow. We were like one of the last countries to get 4G and 5G. We're always behind Vietnam and, Singapore. Okay, Singapore's in a whole new league. But even other Southeast Asian countries, we lag behind them when it comes to advanced technology. We're always one of the last ones to get it. Anyways, Carmel.
Yes, PK said that choosing which phone provider to use in Thailand, shouldn't it depend where you live? Because even the Donlam said that he found True Move to be much better in the islands, but then for the others phone providers, it's like better somewhere else.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yes, depending on where you are.
Yeah, where I live in Katu, Cat, surprisingly, has the best internet because certain areas on the island or certain areas where you live, they have the optic fiber because they have to basically decide where they're going to put the optic fiber and invest in terms of infrastructure regarding the internet lines.
And
so,
be assured that their optic fibre goes straight past Junaid's house.
yeah.
You bet.
All right.
Yes, do your homework. Do your homework.
Do your homework, ladies and gentlemen. Do your homework. That's it. Those are all the stories that we have for today. We've spoken about True and DTAC. We've spoken about TAT AirAsia.
Do you know what we haven't spoken about?
PM Prayut. We have, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed that bit.
And, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break now. Once we come back from the break, we're going to talk about... Oh, I forgot one topic. I apologize. Can I quickly talk about my last topic?
Yeah, I was thinking
I
about
had a feeling I forgot something.
how I can keep
Carmel,
this note.
how long are we running on the show?
45 minutes.
46 minutes. I
Yeah,
think I'm going to
come on.
skip the last story.
Okay, what's
Should
the
I?
story? What is it?
It was about gamers. All right, I'll go for it.
Yeah, go
Ladies
for
and
it.
gentlemen, if you're a gamer, you can now rent out a cinema for yourself.
Now, this is exciting news.
I mean, yeah, if you're a gamer.
What, the whole cinema just for yourself?
That's right. So instead of going to watch movies, you can play your PlayStation or your PC game at SF Cinema starting I believe, today until May the 3rd.
Okay, so you can invite your friends because you're going to have, 100 seats?
Yes. So imagine the fun in playing your favorite RPG or FPS shooter game on the wide screen with SFX Dolby Digital sound.
Yeah. Okay, so this actually... how much does it cost to rent?
So you can have groups of 10 gamers, or you can play alone if you don't like other people. 3,000 baht for 2 hours.
Do you have to play the King's Anthem at the start?
No.
Okay, just asking.
And it's BYOG, bring your own gear.
And that means your
Bring your
consoles
PlayStation, bring your
or
PC game. You can just connect to their system and play it on the
up on the
wide
big
screen. Yeah, that's
Which
right.
gave us an idea, because we've been talking about this for months, about having a, what do you call it?
Meet and greet.
A meet and greet.
A Thaiger meet.
For those people that would like to come and meet the Thaiger team,
Yes.
we thought we might hire at a cinema for a couple of hours,
Okay.
invite you along. We haven't really thought this through, by the way. And we could put some of our videos up on the screen. Indeed, we could actually do one live in the cinema, and your head would be about 7 meters wide.
Yeah.
Wow. And we could do that. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Do you want to do that?
I thought it would be cool. I think we could do some special videos, exclusive footage,
Yes.
just for the people who come for the meet and greet.
Yeah. We'll have free, I don't know,
Yeah.
free... Okay, well, first prize, you get lunch with me. Second prize, you get 2 lunches with me.
Is that even a prize?
No,
though?
no. I don't know. We can
Yeah,
come up
we'll
with
have
something.
some nice beverages. We'll have a nice.
Will we?
I don't know. We'll have a nice evening.
Lemonade.
Yeah, we'll have a nice evening. We
Cool.
can meet fellow Thaiger family members.
So this is all SF cinemas?
All SF cinemas. They suggest you book 5 days in advance, but yeah, bookings were available starting March 30th. So definitely currently until May the 3rd.
Where is the nearest SF cinema to here? Is the one at
Palam Kao, I think.
Terminal 21 an SF cinema?
I'm not sure. Probably.
Up on the top floor, there's a cinema there.
all the big major malls have SF
cinemas.
Yeah.
There's the one at M Quartier.
Yes.
It's got a cinema. So there's
Central
around here.
Palam Kao, Central World.
Yeah, and they're all on the BTS, so that would be easier to get to. Tell us what you think. Do the members think this is a good idea or a bad idea?
Yeah.
Maybe that's for tomorrow's survey.
Yeah.
Do you want to see a 7 metre wide picture of Jay's head?
No. But anyways, for those of you wondering why SF Cinema would allow gamers to rent out their cinemas, well, it's basically because of the pandemic, people have basically changed the way they watch their entertainment. Most
Yes.
people preferring to watch Netflix at home, especially like Disney movies, Marvel movies. After they're in the cinema, just a couple of weeks later, they're on Disney Plus. So why bother going to the cinema? As well as ticket sales have been lackluster over the last year, and major blockbuster movies are even postponing their release date until the time that they think people will be back into the cinema. I've been waiting for Top Gun Maverick for like 2 years now.
Yes, I've seen the 17th trailer they've
They
released.
keep pushing and pushing and pushing it. Come on, Tom Cruise.
So the other thing is the TVs are getting bigger, better, cheaper. I bought a 60-inch TV for 11,000 baht. About 2 weeks ago, I had my TV adventure.
Yeah.
So it was 60-inch. It's a fantastic picture. It was 11,000 baht. It was on special. And I'm very, very happy with that. And you got a sort of a cinema experience that then you can sort of order and eat together.
And we all
Food Panda and sit there and get fat.
And we all live in a Bangkok condo, so you're not that far away from the screen,
No.
so it looks even bigger.
Yeah. But
right.
I mean, I do personally, I like to sit in a cinema. I like the lights going down, the full screen, the
Tub
sound.
of popcorn.
Yeah. And then, of course, the standing up before the movie. I have noticed lately, I've been to the cinema, I go to the cinema still quite often, at least once a month. People don't stand up anymore at the start of the show.
Yes.
Have you noticed that?
I've noticed that. It's been a while. I noticed it in Phuket first time. But
Yes.
it's been going on for more than a year.
So
People trying to prove a point.
maybe. It's a sort of a silent protest, if you like.
Yes.
Yes. But we digress. We want to hear your comments about all these things and whether you think I should keep Carmel's plastic 20 baht note.
I am
yes
going
or
to
no?
claim that 20 baht back.
Yes or no, should I keep Carmel's 20 baht note?
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break and then come back and take a few of your questions because we have been running over time. We'll be back right after this.
Vote yes.
Find the coffee roast you love most. Coffee Culture delivers Thai coffee online. Whole beans or pre-ground delivered to your doorstep in Thailand. Go to coffeeculture.asia and get coffee you love delivered to your doorstep.
Right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I've been noted from Carmel that there's a war going on in the live chat. Someone was saying something rude about Carmel.
Well,
if you say something rude about Carmel, you will be
banned.
Yes. Be nice, ladies and gentlemen. We're all here to enjoy. Have a nice morning.
No.
We're all together with the Thaiger
some
family.
Some of them just want to whinge.
Well, some people just wake up and they've chosen violence and they've chosen blood. You know?
It's okay, I handled it. So, shall we get on with the questions?
Yes,
Because we've been
please.
running on. Gary Corwin asked, don't most international airlines require a PCR test prior to boarding?
Yes, they do.
They do.
Oh,
Okay.
whoa. Really?
Not most, but yes.
I would say some.
A couple of the major airlines, but they're most likely to take those airlines coming here. How about this? For tomorrow's episode, let's have a look into Emirates, Qatar.
Who's going to do the research? Jay's doing
Okay,
it.
I'll have a look into the major airlines. I don't. Do British Airways still even have a flight here now? Do they have
I
a
think
direct?
they have.
Is the direct flight back? Well, I'll check into it. British Airways, Emirates, Qatar. These are
Thai.
some of the Thai Airways. These are some of the most popular
Air
airlines.
Astana is still arriving in Phuket every day.
I have no idea what
From
that is.
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
something.
Anyways, those are the major airlines that people choose while traveling to Thailand. So
Don't bother about Aeroflot. They're not flying here at the moment.
I'll have a look at if they require a PCR test or not.
Yeah. So if it is still required to have a PCR test on your airline, it negates the not having to get a test for your Thailand pass. You'll have to get one for the airline.
But again, if I'm going to travel to a country like Thailand, I'd like to know if I'm positive with COVID before, because if I reach then I'm positive, I'm going to have to be in quarantine. So I'd like to know before I travel. But hey,
Yeah. And
apparently the tourist numbers have doubled.
And if you do test positive, by the way, when you arrive in Thailand, you will have to do, I think it's now a 5-day quarantine.
Yes.
It has, the amount of days has come down, but that risk still exists. So we just want to tell you as it is, it's not all roses and sunshine yet, but the sunshine is slowly appearing as the clouds part.
All right, a couple more questions, Carmel.
Rohit Tarwani asked, will the Thaiger crew have any outdoor broadcast in May? Would love to say sawadee ka.
In May.
Yeah.
Ooh, we don't know about May.
May's a long way. April, May. Okay, it's just
So we've got the one next Monday and Tuesday. We're at My Beach
Resort. Yeah.
in Panwa, Phuket,
Yes.
for 2 days, And so you'll be able to, we'll give you a map or something so you'll know where to go. Panois is a little bit of a shuffle. You've got to...
you've got to find a way to travel there.
Yes, you'll need a car or a taxi.
Or you can stay there because you can use the code Thaiger for a 10% discount.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
Are we getting free rooms?
No.
No, okay.
Definitely not.
All right. So from my place, it's around about a half-hour drive to Panois.
I think for all of us, pretty much. It's in that strange place where you're coming from
Anywhere,
there, I'm
yeah.
coming from the middle, Jason's
Yes.
will be coming from the south, and we're all meeting in the middle.
Yes, it's on the east coast, but Panois is a pretty
East
upscale.
Coast.
There are also some really some cheaper places. I sort of like it. There's some nice little quiet beaches, very nice little beaches actually. In fact, I looked at
Ao Yon? No, it's a
Ao Yon. Yeah.
sad little beach.
Oh, come on.
The only people who like Ao Yon are people who live there. Because they have no other option.
Oof.
It is. It's a sad little beach.
If you live in Ao Yon, you are well entitled to love your beach.
Yeah,
with
and
the
that's
same
okay.
sort of enthusiasm. It's a nice
Katu doesn't
beach.
even have a beach.
Yeah, Katu definitely doesn't have a beach.
Yeah.
You
We
have
have
to
public
go over.
parks.
You have to go over the hill
Yeah, that's right.
to Patong.
Kamal, last question.
Last question. It's more like a correction for Tim.
Oh.
Kamuzu said that Australia did have a polymer $10 in 1988, but Haiti had a Thai-vec note earlier in 1982. So
Who?
Haiti
Haiti.
actually
Haiti.
sorry, Haiti. I'm sorry. So Haiti beat Australia by 6 years. Please
Yeah.
correct him on this.
That's right, Tim. Have some respect for Haiti.
Well, I'm just referring to the oracle of all knowledge, equivalent to the Library of Congress,
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
Yeah. I thought it was Australia too. So perhaps Haiti had it, but that's a strange,
Very strange
very
place.
particular thing for Haiti to have.
The only thing they
Plastic
do really
notes.
well in Haiti is have buildings fall down.
Oh no!
They do that very well.
What's going on here? Okay.
If we're 50 minutes, that's what happens. Could we take one
Yeah.
more? Go one
Okay,
more.
last one.
We dare you.
Mr. Sean Ward asked, "How do people live without the bum gun?"
How do people live without the bum gun?
gun. I
They
don't
live in
know.
America. That's what they do.
Do you know the funniest thing about toilet paper?
Yeah.
Is when you shop, you can also buy patterned toilet paper.
What's that?
It's got a pattern on it,
A patent.
on the toilet paper.
I don't understand.
So the toilet paper is printed. The whole 500 sheets of toilet paper has got a pattern on it.
What's a patent?
A pattern. It's like for heaven's
A
sake.
pattern?
Pattern.
As in P-A-T-T-E-R-N?
toilet paper. Patterns. It's got patterns on it.
Patent?
Oh,
These are
patterns.
Patterns.
A pattern. Okay, a pattern. I thought you meant like a patent, as in like
No, not a patent.
when. Oh, not a patent. Okay.
It's got
A pattern. Okay.
So I say, why? Why have patterned toilet paper that's going to be soiled with
because
your...
it looks nice when you enter the toilet and you see nice toilet paper. You're like, oh look, they've even got fragrance. Some of them.
Do you have patterned toilet paper
I
in
just,
your household?
No, I just
Yes.
use Scott
Yes.
toilet paper. It's
Yeah,
like
that one has
it's
a few-
nice.
It has
Does it
patterns,
have a pattern?
no?
I
Yeah, it
don't
has
know.
patterns.
So you use... Okay, so when it comes to the survey, bum gun or toilet paper, you're on the toilet paper side.
No, I'm bum gun.
But you just said you use Scott.
You can use toilet paper for a lot more other things as well.
Well, not at the same time.
No. What? What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
All right.
There's many things wrong
This,
with me.
this is what happens when the show goes on too long.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please forgive us for the survey.
We understand if you didn't, but
Yeah, and if you have enjoyed it, please click the like button, share the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. As for now, I'd like to say thank you to Tim Newton,
thank you.
Carmel doing the questions today, as
Yeah,
usual.
Thank you.
And of course, Num's back behind the buttons. So, ladies and
Where did he
gentlemen,
go?
Num was away yesterday.
What? I didn't know about that.
He
Did
had
I
a
sign off
long
on that?
weekend. Yeah.
You know what that means.
We all know what that means. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow on a Wednesday morning.